Hello and welcome. With you, Muhammad Fahad. I am a learner, builder, and someone deeply passionate about technology, artificial intelligence, and open education. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my whole journey through freeCodeCamp certifications and how I finished them in just 4 months. This journey started with curiosity, then slowly turned into real projects, real skills, and a growing understanding of how software shapes the modern world. Through freeCodeCamp's open education, I've been able to explore many different learning paths across web development, software engineering, data science, machine learning, all through hands-on practice and project-based learning. This video is a complete and detailed map, the projects, the lessons, and the progress made along the way.
This atlas documents my learning trajectory as enabled by freeCodeCamp's open non-profit curriculum, which emphasizes project-based education and verifiable skill development across web engineering, software systems, data science, and machine learning. Through the web development and full-stack certifications, I progressed from core web standards to building production-ready websites, deploying them on VPS infrastructure, and operating real services that required hands-on work with DNS configuration, SMTP, email service, backend databases, and server-side application logic. These programs provided the practical foundation necessary to move beyond isolated exercises and into internet-scale system operation. Building on this foundation, I applied the knowledge gained to develop and maintain a fully functional educational platform, now operating as a real-world system with more than 100 interconnected pages, supporting educational content delivery, video materials, assessments, and structured knowledge sharing. This work reflects how freeCodeCamp's curriculum translates directly into sustainable production-level software systems. I then extended this foundation through the scientific computing with Python, data analysis, and data visualization programs, which established the computational and analytical basis required for modern data-driven applications. These certifications formed a critical bridge between general software engineering and applied machine learning. Using this Python-based foundation, I advanced into machine learning and deep learning, working with widely adopted frameworks such as scikit-learn, TensorFlow, Keras, and PyTorch. Within this progression, I developed and evaluated models across diverse domains, including regression, classification, computer vision, natural language processing, neural machine transition, transformer-based architectures, and generative models. Taken together, the programs and certifications presented in this atlas illustrate how freeCodeCamp's open learning ecosystem supports continuous progression from foundational web technologies to advanced AI systems without dependence on proprietary platforms or closed academic pathways. This atlas, therefore, serves as a structured record of how an open, project-driven curriculum can enable real software systems, real infrastructure, and real machine learning applications at scale. freeCodeCamp certifications and programs. freeCodeCamp is a globally recognized non-profit open learning platform that delivers competency-based certifications through rigorous project-driven curricula. Each certification reflects demonstrable practical skills validated through the completion of real-world software projects rather than traditional examinations. All programs are free, self-based, and openly accessible, aligning with contemporary principles of open education, lifelong learning, and skills-first assessment. This model positions freeCodeCamp as a reference framework for inclusive, scalable, and industry-relevant software education. And here we have the founder of freeCodeCamp, Quincy Larson, teacher and founder of freeCodeCamp. Here we have the link to his GitHub account as well as his Twitter account, where he shares many useful things. Then we have the freeCodeCamp official links. We have their website link, GitHub link, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube channel, Discord, where they have an open community where they discuss many useful things, Twitter and Instagram. Here, if you go to their website, you will be directed to their official website. You can see now we have the official freeCodeCamp website. Build your skills for free. You can enroll now. And also we have their GitHub account. You can see freeCodeCamp in the GitHub. They have also an active account on GitHub, as well as the YouTube channel, where they share many useful courses and tutorials on several domains in the world of computer science and programming. And also we have their Twitter account. They also share their many useful things and posts you can benefit from. Front-end development libraries. This is the first certification and the first program that you will see on freeCodeCamp curriculum. It's named Front-end Development Libraries Developer Certification. This certification represents advanced undergraduate level competence in modern front-end application development. It focuses on the ecosystem of libraries and frameworks that underpin contemporary web interfaces, emphasizing component-based architecture, state management, user interaction, and dynamic rendering. The program bridges the gap between foundational JavaScript knowledge and production-ready front-end engineering, preparing learners for real-world software development environments. And here we also have the core knowledge areas. We have React, component-based user interface architecture, hooks and functional components, declarative rendering, and lifecycle logic. So this is what you will learn in the React course. Redux, you will learn centralized state management, predictable data flow, application scale state modeling. Bootstrap, responsive UI systems, responsive user interfaces, grid layouts and design consistency, rapid interface prototyping. And also you will learn jQuery, DOM manipulation, event handling, legacy system interaction and migration awareness, as well as client-side application design, user interaction modeling, event-driven programming, front-end performance, and maintainability. Also, they provide a capstone project that you will have to complete and finish before you get a certificate. Certification is granted only after completing multiple independent projects, each evaluated against functional and behavioral criteria. Typical projects include random quote machine, markdown previewer, drum machine, JavaScript calculator, 25 plus 5 clock, or Pomodoro timer. These projects collectively assess that you have a solid foundation in user interface correctness and responsiveness, as well as state synchronization, user interaction logic, and also code structure and reusability. Educational value. This certification embodies a competency-based learning model where achievement is demonstrated through working software, not examinations. Educationally, it provides evidence of applied front-end engineering skills, validation of framework-level understanding, practical experience aligned with industry workflows, readiness for collaborative software development. The benefits for learners: builds confidence in modern front-end technologies. So by taking this course, you will gain confidence in modern front-end technologies and libraries. Also for transitions from theory to applied software construction. Develops portfolio-ready projects. So we will have portfolio-ready projects if you build these projects. Encourages best practices in user interface architecture. For professionals, it signals job-ready front-end capability. Also demonstrates experience with industry standard tools, supports roles such as front-end developer, React developer, user interface engineer, JavaScript engineer. For organizations, it provides a verifiable, transparent credential, ensures skills are validated through real projects, aligns with agile and component-based development models. This certification exemplifies modern open education principles. It is fully open and free accessible, globally verifiable credentials, project-based assessment, industry-aligned skill validation. And here, if you click on this button, it will show a module pop-up and it contains my own certificate. You can see I gained this certificate on January 13, 2022. Front-end development libraries. The second program or the second certification is called Backend Development and APIs. This certification represents advanced foundational training in server-side software engineering and API-driven system design. It focuses on building a scalable back-end services, emphasizing principles such as stateless communication, structured data exchange, authentication, and service modularity that define modern web architectures. The program equips learners with the ability to design, implement, and deploy back-end applications that communicate reliably with front-end clients and external systems. The core knowledge areas include Node.js runtime environment, asynchronous execution model, event-driven architecture, server-side JavaScript programming. In Express.js framework, you will learn RESTful routing, middleware pipelines, request response lifecycle management. Also, for API design and REST principles, you will gain knowledge in resource-oriented endpoints, HTTP methods and status codes, stateless communication patterns. Authentication and authorization, how to create systems that has user identity handling, secure access control, token-based workflows. Also, as well as for backend data handling, you will learn how to request validation, data persistence concepts, structured API responses. Service architecture, modular backend design, separation of concerns, maintainability, and scalability principles. And also they have a capstone project that you will have to finish and achieve before you gain this certificate. Certification is awarded exclusively through project-based evaluation, requiring the successful completion of multiple backend microservices. Typical projects include timestamp microservice, request header parser, URL shortener, exercise tracker, file metadata microservice. These projects assess API correctness and robustness, proper use of HTTP protocols, secure data handling, logical separation of backend components, real-world service behavior under client requests. This certification embodies a practical backend engineering curriculum, emphasizing learning through implementation rather than examination. Educationally, it provides applied understanding of backend system design, experience in building production-style APIs, strong preparation for service-oriented architectures, a foundation for cloud DevOps and microservices learning paths. The benefits for learners includes develops backend problem-solving skills, builds confidence in server-side programming, encourages architectural thinking, produces portfolio-ready backend services. For professionals, it demonstrates readiness for backend or full-stack roles, validates experience with real API systems, supports career paths such as backend developer, API engineer, full-stack developer, software engineer, web systems. For organizations, it provides transparent, verifiable evidence of backend competence, confirms experience with RESTful systems, aligns with modern service-based application development. This certification exemplifies open, skills-first backend education, combining free global access, industry-aligned tooling, real-world project validation, verifiable public credentials. And you can see here, I gained this certificate on January 6, 2022. And this program named Backend Development and APIs, where you will gain a solid foundation and robust knowledge about how to deal with backend systems and how to develop websites and apps that include the backend part and deals with the backend. legacy front-end. This certification represents structured training in classical front-end web development paradigms that predate modern component-based frameworks. It emphasizes core web fundamentals, imperative scripting models, and early client-side architectures that shaped the evolution of today's front-end ecosystem. The program builds a strong historical and technical foundation, enabling learners to understand how modern front-end libraries evolved from earlier design patterns and technologies. This certification validates competence across foundational front-end domains. First, HTML fundamentals. You will learn HTML from the start until you perfect it. Document structure and semantics, content organization and markup logic, standards compliant page construction. Second, CSS. Visual styling principles, box model and layout behavior, responsive design fundamentals. You will learn how to design web pages and how to make them look pretty and beautiful. Third, you will learn JavaScript, imperative programming, call language constructs, DOM manipulation, document object model, event handling and browser interactions, and you will become professional at designing and also animating web pages. jQuery, simplified DOM traversal, event-driven user interface behavior, legacy front-end interaction patterns. And here, event-driven, you will learn how to trigger some code or trigger functions when upon event is being happen. For example, upon clicking a button, or for example, upon scrolling, how to trigger a function. Front-end application logic, client-side validation, user input handling, user interface state changes through imperative code. This certification is earned through the completion of multiple applied front-end projects, each demonstrating functional correctness and usability. Typical projects include Tribute page, personal portfolio web page, random quote generator, JavaScript calculator, Pomodoro clock. These projects assess correct use of HTML and CSS, JavaScript-driven interactivity, DOM manipulation and proficiency, functional user interface behavior without modern frameworks. This certification provides deep foundational literacy in front-end development, emphasizing understanding over abstraction. Educationally, it offers insight into early web development architectures, strong grounding in browser-based programming, transferable knowledge applicable to debugging modern frameworks, conceptual clarity on how front-end complexity evolved. The benefits that you will gain for learners: builds strong conceptual foundations, improves understanding of browser behavior, enhances debugging and problem-solving skills, prepares learners for modern frameworks with historical context. For professionals, it enables maintenance of legacy systems, strengthens understanding of front-end fundamentals, supports transitions to modern libraries such as React or Vue, adds depth to front-end engineering expertise. For organizations, it validates ability to work with legacy front-end code bases, ensures understanding beyond framework abstractions, supports long-term maintainability of existing systems. It complements modern front-end certifications by providing historical continuity, reinforcing core web standards, preventing over-reliance on abstraction layers. And here I have my certificate on legacy front-end, where I gained it on February 23, 2022. So when you complete this certificate, you will be able to design and create web pages using the front-end technologies, and how to design them and make them look pretty and beautiful using CSS, how to animate them, how to make this web page interactive using JavaScript and its libraries. Then let's dive into legacy backend. This certification represents structured training in classical server-side web development paradigms that preceded modern microservices and cloud-native architectures. It emphasizes monolithic backend systems, traditional request response lifecycles, and early backend integration patterns that form the conceptual backbone of modern server engineering. The program provides historical and practical grounding in backend development, enabling learners to understand how contemporary backend frameworks evolved from earlier architectural models. The certification validates foundational backend competence across the following domains: server-side programming fundamentals. So you will become a master in server-side programming by learning backend logic execution, request handling workflows, data processing on the server. So you will learn how to process data on the server, how to send data from forms into the backend, and how to process them and assign them or store them inside databases. Also, you will use Express.js, early backend framework usage, route handling, middleware-based processing, API endpoint construction. Also, RESTful service foundations, HTTP request and response patterns, URL-based resource design, stateless service principles. Data handling and persistent concepts, from data processing to server-side validation until you reach basic persistence workflows. So you will know how to integrate the technologies of the backend into the web pages and make them fully functional from front end until back end. By connecting the front end knowledge with the back end knowledge, you will build robust systems and robust apps. Monolithic architecture patterns, separation between routing, logic, and data, maintainability in traditional backend systems. Also, they provide there a capstone project. This certification is earned through the completion of backend focused applied projects, each demonstrating correct server behavior and API functionality. Typical projects include timestamp API, request header parser, URL shortener, exercise tracker, file metadata macroservice. These projects assess that you have a correct backend routing behavior, API reliability and correctness, data validation and processing, end-to-end request lifecycle handling. Educationally, it offers deep understanding of traditional backend systems, strong foundation for learning modern backend stacks, improved ability to debug and maintain legacy services, transferable architectural thinking applicable to modern frameworks. And I myself, after completing this course or this certification, I built the backend of my own website and made it fully functional. The login form, the sign up form, and also how to send data to the database and how to retrieve it. For learners, it builds strong backend fundamentals, enhances understanding of HTTP-based systems, prepares learners for modern backend frameworks, strengthens problem-solving and system reasoning skills. For professionals, it enables maintenance of legacy backend systems, improves architectural understanding beyond abstractions, supports migration to modern microservices architectures, strengthens full-stack engineering capability. For organizations, it validates ability to work with existing backend infrastructures, ensures understanding of core backend principles, reduces long-term technical debt through informed engineers. The legacy backend certification plays a critical role in open technical education by preserving foundational backend knowledge that remains relevant despite rapid technological change. And here I have my certificate when I gained it on February 24, 2022 on legacy backend. After that, we have the legacy full stack. This certification represents comprehensive training in end-to-end web application development using classical full-stack architectures that predate modern cloud-native and microservices paradigms. It integrates front-end interfaces, back-end services, and data handling into a unified learning pathway, emphasizing holistic system understanding rather than isolated technologies. The program reflects a complete software development lifecycle, enabling learners to design, build and reason about full stack systems as cohesive, interdependent structures. This certification validates integrated competence across the full web development stack. First, front-end foundations, where you now have HTML, document structure, and semantics. So you have full knowledge of the semantics and tags inside the HTML language. CSS, styling, layout, and responsiveness. Also, you will master the flexbox and grid systems in CSS. JavaScript-driven interactivity and DOM manipulation. jQuery-based user interface, logic, and event handling. You'll become a master in event handling and how to handle different codes and trigger them only when an event occurs. Backend foundations, server-side JavaScript execution, Express.js routing and middleware, request response, lifecycle management, API endpoint construction. You will become professional at constructing API endpoints, also dealing with request and response lifecycles, as well as for how to route Express.js with the JavaScript ecosystem. Application and integration, front-end and back-end communication. So you will become a master at connecting the front-end with the back-end, developing full-stack applications from form submission and data exchange, client-server coordination. Data handling concepts, for example, server-side validation, persistence fundamentals, structured data workflows. System architecture, monolithic full-stack design, separation of concerns across layers, maintainability and extensibility principles. Also, they will provide you a capstone project that you have to finish and achieve before gaining this certificate. Certification is earned through the completion of a broad portfolio of interconnected projects spanning both client-side and server-side development. These projects collectively assess that you have a solid and robust knowledge in user interface construction and interaction, back-end logic and API correctness, end-to-end data flow, full application behavior under real usage conditions. The educational value, educationally it provides deep insight into classical full-stack architectures, strong conceptual grounding for modern frameworks, the ability to reason across the entire application stack, a durable mental model for software system design. The benefits as follows: for learners, develops complete system-level thinking, builds confidence across the entire development stack, strengthens problem-solving and debugging skills, prepares learners for specialization in front-end, back-end, and developer operations paths. For professionals, it demonstrates comprehensive full-stack competence, enables effective collaboration across engineering roles, supports transitions to modern frameworks and architectures, enhances architectural reasoning and technical leadership potential. For organizations, it validates engineers capable of end-to-end ownership, reduces communication gaps between front-end and back-end teams, supports long-term maintainability through well-rounded developers. And here I have my certificate. I gained it on February 23, 2022 on Legacy Full Stack, where I learned how to connect and how to link the front-end knowledge with the back-end knowledge, developing real-world and robust full-stack applications and websites. Responsive web design. This certification represents foundational training in standards-based web design and layout engineering, with a strong emphasis on accessibility, responsiveness, and cross-device compatibility. It focuses on the principles that govern how content is structured, styled, presented across a wide range of screen sizes and devices. So in this certification, you will gain a solid knowledge about how to design accessible web pages. So accessibility here means how to design web pages that even people with disabilities can use your website or your web page easily. Responsiveness means that your page is responsive even if the screen size is small. And cross-device compatibility means that your website is also compatible with cross-device devices. It focuses on the principles that govern how content is structured, styled, and presented and displayed across a wide range of screen sizes and devices. The program establishes the entry point to professional web development, forming the conceptual and practical basis upon which all modern front-end frameworks are built. Core knowledge areas. First, HTML5 semantics. You will learn the latest version of HTML, which is HTML5, and how to use the semantical tags. Structured document markup, meaningful content hierarchy, accessibility-oriented element usage. Then you will dive into CSS fundamentals, how to style and layout different web pages, styling rules and selectors, box model and layout behavior, visual consistency and readability. You will gain a solid and foundational knowledge about how to select different elements in HTML professionally, how to design box models and layout behavior, and how to visually be consistent and readable. Responsive design principles, media queries, fluid layouts, mobile first design strategies. You will learn how to design responsive web pages by using media queries and also fluid layouts. Then you will dive into Flexbox and CSS Grid, one-dimensional and two-dimensional layouts. So Flexbox is a one-dimensional and Grid is two-dimensional. Alignment and spacing control, adaptive layout systems. So you'll learn how to control the layout and how you organize your elements on the web page. Web accessibility, readable content structures, user-centric design considerations. So you will design a user-centered design consideration, inclusive interface practices. Then you will have to finish and achieve a capstone project as an assessment model. Certification is earned through the completion of multiple applied design projects, each demonstrating structural correctness, responsiveness, and usability. Typical projects include tribute page, survey form, product landing page, technical documentation page, personal portfolio page. You will build all these projects and you will learn how to host them on GitHub. These projects assess semantic HTML structure, responsive layout behavior, visual clarity and consistency, real-world usability across devices. This certification provides fundamental literacy in web design, emphasizing clarity, structure, and adaptability. Educationally, it offers a strong conceptual foundation for all web technologies, transferable skills applicable across frameworks and platforms, best practices aligned with modern web standards, readiness for progression into JavaScript, frameworks, and full-stack development. The benefits that you will earn for learners builds confidence in creating real, usable web pages, develops design thinking grounded in standards, prepares learners for advanced front-end development, encourages accessibility-aware development aware practices. For professionals, it validates core web design competence, ensures ability to build responsive interfaces without frameworks. So we'll learn how to design responsive interfaces, responsive web pages without any framework, enhances collaboration with designers and developers, strengthens long-term adaptability to new tools and platforms. For organizations, it confirms understanding of web standards and accessibility, reduces design-related technical debt, supports inclusive and device-agnostic user experiences. You will learn how to design web pages that are device-agnostic. Whatever device you are using, your website or a page still working. The Responsive Web Design certification forms the foundation of modern web education within an open learning ecosystem. And here you can see I earned this certificate on November 6, 2021 in Responsive Web Design. I personally, after completing this certificate, become fluent at designing web pages using Flexbox and Grid systems. After that, we have JavaScript algorithms and data structures. This certification represents foundational training in computational thinking, algorithmic problem solving, and structured programming using JavaScript. It focuses on how problems are modeled, decomposed, and solved logically, independent of user interfaces or specific application domains. Here you will gain a solid and foundational knowledge about how you solve problems in JavaScript, how you structure the lines of code, and how you think logically and algorithmically. The program establishes the algorithmic backbone of software engineering, forming a critical bridge between basic programming literacy and advanced system development. This certification validates competence across essential programming and algorithmic domains. First, JavaScript language fundamentals, variables, data types, and operators. You will learn how to construct and create variables, how to define your own data types, strings, integers, arrays, and operators like the assignment operator or the logical operators, and so many more, or control, flow, and conditional logic, functions, and scope management. Then you will dive into data structures. How can you construct arrays and nest within them objects, or the other way around? Arrays and strings, objects, key value mappings, nested data representations, and how to access nested data representations. You will gain a solid foundation knowledge about it. Algorithmic thinking, problem decomposition. You will learn how to break down problems into smaller pieces and how to tackle them one by one. Step-by-step logical reasoning, edge case analysis, functional programming concepts like higher order functions, immutability principles, declarative problem-solving patterns. And also you will master object-oriented programming, an important paradigm in the world of programming, encapsulation and abstraction, constructor functions and prototypes, code organization and reuse, debugging and code correctness, logical error detection, testing assumptions, ensuring predictable behavior, and also you will learn how to debug errors. And then you will have to finish a capstone project. Certification is earned through the completion of algorithm-focused applied projects, each designed to test logical reasoning rather than user interface complexity. Typical projects include the palindrome checker, Roman numeral converter, Caesar cipher, telephone number validator, cash register simulation, and I built all those projects that you see here. These projects assess correct algorithm design, efficient data handling, robust handling of edge cases, clarity and correctness of logic. Educationally, it offers strong grounding in problem-solving methodologies, transferable skills applicable across languages and platforms, preparation for advanced topics such as data structures, systems design, and algorithms, conceptual readiness for technical interviews and academic coursework. For learners, you will get benefits like develops disciplined logical thinking, builds confidence in solving non-trivial problems, establishes a strong programming foundation, prepares learners for advanced software engineering paths. For professionals, it demonstrates algorithmic competence beyond syntax, supports roles requiring strong problem-solving skills, enhances readiness for technical interviews, strengthens adaptability to new programming languages. For organizations, it validates cross-computational thinking ability, ensures engineers can reason about correctness and logic, reduces reliance on trial and error development. And here you can see I earned that certificate on December 5, 2021, JavaScript algorithms and data structures. Information security. This certification represents structured training in applied information security and secure software practices within modern web systems. It focuses on understanding how vulnerabilities arise, how systems are attacked and defended, and how developers can design applications that preserve confidentiality, integrity, and availability. The program bridges foundational software development with security-aware engineering, positioning security not as an afterthought, but as an integral component of system design. This certification validates competence across essential information security domains. The first, web security fundamentals, includes threat models and attack surfaces, common web vulnerabilities, secure development principles. Then you will dive into authentication and authorization, user identity management, access control models, secure credential handling, and how to assign unique IDs to every single user so that the accounts of the users don't get overlapped. Cryptography concepts, hashing and encryption fundamentals, secure data storage practices, integrity verification mechanisms, application security, input validation and sanitization, protection against injection attacks, secure session management, and you will learn how to protect your website and how to denoise the inputs to a form, for example, the sign-up form, and how to store data that are not harmful inside any database. Then you will dive into security protocols and practices, for example, HTTPS and secure communication, token-based security models, defense in-depth strategies. And also you will have to complete a capstone project in order to earn this certificate. Certification is earned through the completion of security-focused applied projects, each designed to test the ability to implement and reason about secure systems. Typical projects include secure authentication systems, password hashing and verification services, data protection and encryption modules, secure API access controls. These projects assess correct application of security principles, resistance to common attack vectors, secure handling of sensitive data, practical implementation of cryptographic safeguards. Educational value. This certification provides practical security literacy essential for modern software development. Educationally, it offers awareness of real-world security threats, hands-on experience implementing secure systems, conceptual grounding in cryptographic and security mechanisms, preparation for advanced cybersecurity and DevSecOps learning paths. Its scope aligns with introductory to intermediate university coursework in information security and secure software engineering. You will gain many benefits for learners, develops security-first thinking. Second, builds confidence in protecting applications and data, enhances understanding of system vulnerabilities, prepares learners for specialized security roles. For professionals, it demonstrates applied security competence, reduces risk in software design and deployment, supports roles such as secure software developer, application security engineer, backend or full stack developer with security focus. For organization, it validates security-aware engineering skills, reduces exposure to common vulnerabilities, supports compliance, trust, and system resilience. Here you can see, when you click on the button, it will show you a model of my certificate. I gained it on February 17, 2022 on information security. So you will learn several methods on how to protect your website or your application from the harmful attacks. After that, let's go to Legacy Information Security and Quality Assurance. This certification represents integrated training in secure software development and systematic quality assurance practices within classical web and application architectures. It emphasizes the dual responsibility of developers to both protect systems against vulnerabilities and ensure functional correctness, reliability, and maintainability throughout the software lifecycle. The program situates security and quality as foundational engineering disciplines, highlighting their role in building trustworthy, resilient, and production-ready software systems. The core knowledge areas that you will dive into: first, information security foundations, For example, threat awareness and risk mitigation, secure handling of user input and data, protection against common web vulnerabilities. Then you will dive into authentication and data protection, credential security and password handling. You will learn how to protect the passwords of your users, the users of your app, data integrity and confidentiality principles, secure communication practices, quality assurance fundamentals. For example, software correctness and validation, functional testing strategies, defect identification and prevention. And then you will dive into automated testing concepts, for example, unit and integration testing principles, test-driven thinking, regression prevention through automation, system reliability and maintainability, error handling and edge case management, code robustness and clarity, long-term system stability considerations. Then you will have to complete a capstone project. Certification is earned through the completion of applied projects combining security and quality objectives, each designed to assess both protection and correctness. Typical projects include secure authentication and authorization systems, input validation and data sanitization modules, automated test suites for application logic, security-aware API validation services. These projects assess secure system behavior under adversarial conditions, correct handling of expected and unexpected inputs, reliability of application logic, practical integration of testing and security safeguards. Educationally, it offers strong awareness of how defects and vulnerabilities intersect, practical experience in secure and testable system design, preparation for advanced DevSecOps and software quality roles, reinforcement of professional engineering responsibility. The benefits that you will gain for learners: develops disciplined engineering habits, builds confidence in writing secure, testable code, strengthens analytic and validation skills, prepares learners for security or quality-focused career paths. For professionals, it demonstrates integrated security and question-answering competence, enhances credibility in production-critical environments, supports roles such as software quality engineering, application security engineer, full-stack developer with quality assurance responsibility. For organizations, it validates commitment to secure and reliable software, reduces defect rates and security risks, supports compliance, trust, and operational resilience. And here you can see I earned this certificate on February 17, 2022 on legacy information security and quality assurance. After that, you can see we have quality assurance. This certification represents structured training in software quality engineering, focusing on ensuring that applications behave correctly, reliably, and predictably under a wide range of conditions. It emphasizes the role of quality assurance as a core engineering discipline, not merely a post-development activity. The program introduces learners to systematic approaches for validating software behavior, detecting defects early, and maintaining long-term code quality through testing and verification practices. The core knowledge areas that you will dive into: first, software testing fundamentals. It includes purpose and scope of quality assurance, functional correctness and expected behavior, defect detection and prevention strategies. Automated testing concepts. It includes unit testing principles, integration testing awareness, regression testing foundations. After that, you will dive into test-driven thinking, designing tests before implementation, verifying assumptions and requirements, ensuring predictable system behavior. Then you will get into code reliability and robustness, how to handle edge cases, how to detect errors and reports, defensive programming practices, quality in the software lifecycle, continuous validation during development, maintaining quality as systems evolve, long-term maintainability considerations. And then you'll have to complete a capstone project. Certification is earned through the completion of applied quality assurance projects, each designed to evaluate the learner's ability to validate and safeguard application behavior. Typical projects include automated unit testing suites, functional validation frameworks, regression testing implementations, application logic verification modules. These projects include assess accuracy of test coverage, ability to identify and prevent defects, reliability of software under varying conditions, practical use of automated testing tools. Educationally, it offers strong grounding in software validation and methodologies, practical experience with automated testing workflows, preparation for advanced roles in quality assurance, DevOps, and software engineering, reinforcement of professional responsibility in software development. There are several benefits that you will gain. For learners, it develops attention to detail and analytical thinking, builds confidence in verifying software correctness, encourages disciplined development practices, prepares learners for roles requiring precision and reliability. For professionals, it demonstrates competence in quality-focused engineering, enhances credibility in production critical environments, supports roles such as quality assurance QA engineer, software test engineer, software engineer with testing responsibility. For organizations, it validates ability to deliver reliable, maintainable software, reduces defect rates and rework costs, supports continuous integration and delivery pipelines. So you can see here the quality assurance certification plays a critical and vital role in open technical education by emphasizing correctness, reliability, and accountability in software systems. You will learn how to develop and design reliable, correct, safe websites and web pages. And this is my certificate. I earned it on February the 1st, 2022 on quality assurance. Then you will dive into scientific computing with Python. This certification represents foundational training in computational problem solving and scientific programming using Python. It focuses on applying programming as a tool for reasoning, automation, data manipulation, and numerical computation rather than purely for web or user interface development. The program establishes Python as a general-purpose scientific and engineering language, forming a critical bridge between basic programming and advanced domains such as data science, machine learning, automation, research, computing. Core knowledge areas. First, you will get into Python programming fundamentals. You will learn about variables, data types, and expressions. Control flow, like if conditions, for loops, while loops, and logical structures. Functions and how to develop functions, and modular program design, how to go modular. Data structures and manipulation, lists, tuples, dictionaries, and sets, all about groups and data structures in Python. Iteration and transformation of data. You will learn how to transform data and how to iterate over data structures. Structured data handling. Then you will get into algorithmic and computational thinking. It includes problem decomposition. You will learn how to decompose and break down a big problem or a large problem into several pieces. Stepwise solution design, translating real-world problems into code. File handling and data processing. How to read files and how to write into files. Parsing structured text data. Automating repetitive computational tasks. Then you will learn about how to handle errors and program robustness, how to control errors, exception handling, input validation, reliable execution of computational workflows. Then you will have a capstone project that you have to achieve. Certification is earned through the completion of applied computational projects, each designed to assess and evaluate correctness, clarity, and robustness of Python-based solutions. Typical projects include arithmetic formatter, time calculator, budget application, polygon area calculator, probability calculator. These projects assess correct computational logic, effective use of Python data structures, handling of edge cases and errors, translation of mathematical or logical requirements into code. You will learn how to translate a real-world problem into code. Educational value. This certification provides computational literacy, which is essential across science, engineering, and modern software development. Educationally, it offers strong grounding in Python as a scientific tool, transferable skills applicable to analytics, automation, and AI, preparation for advanced study in data science and machine learning, conceptual readiness for technical and academic problem solving. The benefits that you will gain for learners: it develops structured and computational thinking, builds confidence in solving quantitative and logical problems, prepares learners for data-driven and analytical domains, establishes Python as a lifelong professional tool. For professionals, it demonstrates practical Python proficiency. It supports roles such as data analyst, scientific programmer, automation engineer, software engineer using Python, and enhances adaptability to research, analytics, and AI workflows. For organizations, it validates ability to automate and analyze computational tasks. It supports data-driven decision-making, reduces manual effort through reliable scripting solutions. And I personally, after finishing this course, I become a master in Python and confident and fluent using the Python syntax. And here you can see this is my certification. I earned it on December 15, 2021, Scientific Computing with Python. You will learn how to use Python to do tasks, for example, how to build calculators and how to do so many things with it. Data analysis with Python. This certification represents structured training in data analysis, exploratory data processing, and statistical reasoning using Python. It focuses on transforming raw, unstructured data into meaningful insights, emphasizing analytical thinking, data cleaning, and evidence-based interpretation. So you can see here it's named Data Analysis with Python. And Python is one of the most growing languages in the world of data analysis. You will learn how to get data, how to clean it, how to process it, then how to visualize it using advanced statistical techniques. The program positions Python as a core analytical instrument, bridging computational foundations with real-world data-driven decision-making across science, business, and engineering domains. Core knowledge areas: data handling and preparation, how to load data and inspect datasets, cleaning and pre-processing raw data, handling missing, inconsistent, or noisy data. After that, you will get into numerical and tabular analysis, array-based computation, tabular data manipulation, aggregation, and transformation operations. Exploratory data analysis, EDA, how to describe data in a statistical way, descriptive statistics, pattern and trend identification, outlier detection, and data summarization. Then you will learn all about data visualization. You will create line charts, bar charts, histograms, pie charts, and many more. Visual representation of data distributions, comparative and trend-based charts, communicating insights through visuals. Analytical reasoning, interpreting statistical results, drawing evidence-based conclusions, translating data findings into actionable insights. Then you will have to complete and finish a capstone project. Certification is earned through the completion of applied data analysis projects, each designed to assess analytical accuracy, clarity, and reproducibility. Typical projects include mean variance standard deviation calculator. You will build a demographic data analyzer, medical data visualizer, page viewer time series visualizer, C-level predictor. These projects assess and evaluate that you have a solid and correct statistical computation, effective data pre-processing and transformation, clarity of analytical logic, quality of data-driven interpretation. Educational value. Educationally, it offers strong grounding in applied data analysis workflows, practical experience with real-world datasets, preparation for advanced study in data science, analytics, and AI, transferable analytical skills applicable across disciplines. The benefits that you will gain for learners: it develops data-driven thinking, builds confidence in working with real datasets, strengthens statistical intuition, prepares learners for advanced analytics and data science paths. For professionals, it demonstrates applied data analysis competence, supports roles such as data analyst, business intelligence analyst, data scientist, junior level, and Python analyst, enhances decision-making and reporting capabilities. For organizations, it validates ability to extract insights from data, supports evidence-based strategy and planning, reduces reliance on manual or ad hoc analysis. And here you can see, if you click on the button, it shows my certificate. I earned it on 22 January 2022, and it's named Data Analysis with Python. After that, you will dive into data visualization. This certification represents structured training in visual analytics and data communication, focusing on transforming complex datasets into clear, interpretable visual narratives. It emphasizes visualization as a cognitive and analytical discipline, where design choices directly influence understanding, insight, and decision making. The program positions data visualization as the interface between data analysis and human reasoning, integrating technical implementation with perceptual and design principles. The core knowledge areas that you will get into: first, principles of visual communication, visual encoding of quantitative and categorical data, clarity, accuracy, and reduction of cognitive load, avoiding misleading or distorted representations. Data-driven graphics, chart selection based on analytical intent. You will learn how to choose and select the most appropriate chart based on the intent of the analysis. Mapping data attributes to visual variables, scaling, axes, and layout considerations. Interactive visualization concepts, user-driven exploration, filtering and dynamic views, linking data and visual states. Then you will dive into data transformation for visualization, preparing datasets for visual analysis, aggregation and reshaping, and also handling temporal and multivariate data. Then you will get into narrative and insight delivery, storytelling with data, highlighting trends, patterns, and anomalies, supporting analytical conclusions visually. Then you will have to complete a capstone project in order to earn this certificate. Certification is earned through the completion of applied visualization projects, each designed to assess accuracy, interpretability, and visual reasoning. Typical projects include bar chart visualization, scatterplot graph, heat map, color pleth map, tree map diagram. These projects that you will build will assess that you have correct visual encoding of data, alignment between visualization and analytical goal, effective use of scale, color, and structure, ability to communicate insights visually. Educational value. Educationally, it offers deep understanding of how humans interpret visual information, practical experience designing analytical graphics, preparation for advanced analytics, BI, and data science roles, transferable skills across research, business, and engineering contexts. The benefits that you will gain for learners: it develops analytical storytelling skills, strengthens intuition for patterns and trends, enhances clarity of communication, prepares learners for data-centric disciplines. For professionals, it demonstrates ability to communicate complex data clearly, supports roles such as data analyst, business intelligence developer, data visualization specialist, analytics engineer, improves stakeholder communication and reporting effectiveness. For organizations, it enables faster insight generation, improves decision-making quality, reduces misinterpretation of data findings. The data visualization certification plays a pivotal role in open technical education by ensuring that data understanding isn't confined to raw numbers or code. It bridges data analysis and human interpretation, complements analytical, statistical, and computational certifications, aligns open learning with real-world communication needs, strengthens the final mile of data-driven decision-making. And you can see here, this is my certificate. I earned it on 19 December 2021, data visualization. And of course, using Python. Later, I got into legacy data visualization. This certification represents structured training in foundational and transitional data visualization techniques, emphasizing the principles that shaped modern visual analytics before the emergence of newer visualization stacks. It focuses on the legacy visualization ecosystem, where early web-based graphics, manual data binding, and explicit rendering logic played a central role in transforming datasets into interpretable visuals. The program reinforces visualization as both a technical and cognitive discipline, grounded in correctness, clarity, and interpretability. Core knowledge areas that you will get into: foundational visualization theory, encoding data into visual form, accuracy, scale, and proportional reasoning, cognitive perception of charts and graphs. Then you will move into legacy visualization tool chains, script-based data binding, manual control over rendering pipelines, explicit manipulation of visual elements. Also, you will move into data preparation for visualization, cleaning and restructuring datasets, aggregation and transformation for visual display, handling categorical, numerical, and geospatial data. Chart and graph construction. You will learn how to build and construct bar charts, scatter plots, heat maps and maps, hierarchical and comparative visualizations, multivariate visual encoding. Then you will move into analytical interpretation, reading patterns and trends, identifying anomalies and outliers, supporting analytical conclusions through visuals. And there's a capstone project that you have to complete. Certification is earned through the completion of hands-on visualization projects that reflect early generation visual analytics workflows. Typical projects include interactive bar chart, building a scatter plot with scales and axes, heat map visualization, color pleth map, hierarchical data visualization, tree map. These projects assess and evaluate that you have a solid and correct mapping between data and visuals, precision in scale and axis construction, clarity and interpretability of output, ability to reason analytically through visual form. Educationally, it offers deep appreciation of visualization fundamentals, strong transferability to modern BI and analytics tools, insight into the evolution of visual analytics, conceptual durability beyond specific libraries or frameworks. Benefits that you will gain for learners: it builds strong intuition for visual reasoning, strengthens analytical interpretation skills, encourages precision and correctness in data communication, prepares learners for advanced visualization systems. For professionals, it demonstrates foundational mastery of visualization concepts, supports roles such as data analyst, visualization engineer, business intelligence developer, analytics specialist. It enhances adaptability across legacy and modern analytics stacks. For organizations, it preserves institutional knowledge of foundational systems, improves accuracy and trust in visual reporting, reduces miscommunication caused by poor visualization design. And here you can see I earned this certificate on 24 February 2022. It's named Legacy Data Visualization, where you will become a master using Python, how to create data visuals using Python ecosystem. Then we dive into a nice field, machine learning with Python. This certification represents structured training in core machine learning concepts and applied model development using Python. It focuses on transforming data into predictive and inferential systems, emphasizing the full learning pipeline, problem formulation, data preparation, model selection, evaluation, and interpretation. The program positions machine learning as an extension of statistical reasoning and computational thinking, bridging data analysis with intelligent automation and decision support. Core knowledge areas: you will dive into foundations of machine learning like supervised learning principles, regression and classification paradigms, bias variance trade-offs, and transition. You will gain the theory knowledge that you need to become a machine learning engineer. Then you will move into data preparation for modeling. For example, feature selection and engineering, data normalization and scaling, handling missing values and noise. These are really necessary processes or operations that you have to learn in order to become a machine learning engineer. Then you will dive into model development and training, linear and logistic regression, tree-based and ensemble methods, training workflows, and reproducibility. After that, you will move on to model evaluation and validation, train, test splits, and cross-validation, performance metrics and error analysis, model comparison and selection, interpretation and responsible use, understanding model behavior, limitations and assumptions, translating predictions into decisions. Then there's a capstone project that you have to complete. Certification is earned through the completion of applied machine learning projects, each designed to assess end-to-end modeling competence. Typical projects include rock, paper, scissors image classifier, cat and dog image classifier, book recommendation engine, linear regression healthcare predictor. So you'll have to complete the capstone project by building these projects. These projects assess and evaluate that you have correct formulation of learning problems, quality of data pre-processing and feature engineering, sound evaluation and validation practices, practical interpretation of model outcomes. The educational value: educationally, it offers many benefits: strong grounding in applied machine learning workflows, preparation for advanced study in AI and data science, practical experience with real-world modeling challenges, transferable skills across technical and analytical domains. The benefits that you will gain as a learner: develops predictive and analytical reasoning, builds confidence in designing learning systems, prepares learners for AI-focused career paths, establishes a foundation for deep learning and advanced AI. For professionals, it includes demonstrates applied machine learning competence, supports roles such as machine learning engineer, data scientist, applied AI engineer, analytics engineer, enhances automation and decision-making capabilities. For organizations, it validates ability to build data-driven predictive systems, improves forecasting, recommendation, and classification tasks, supports scalable, evidence-based automation. And here you can see my certificate. I gained it on 28th of January 2022, machine learning with Python. If you are serious about building a real foundation in programming, the most effective step is to join freeCodeCamp's programs and commit to earning its certifications. These certifications are not symbolic. They require you to build real projects, solve real problems, and demonstrate skills that can be publicly verified. By following this path, you create a clear, honest proof of competence in web development, data science, and machine learning, independent of credentials or titles. Start the freeCodeCamp curriculum, complete the projects and the certificates, and let your work define your programming career.